Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think a talking point is obviously the rule change. So this is the first time we really see Q1, Q2, and I guess we didn't really know if it was going to be on YouTube. Then suddenly it was. So I don't know if I missed anything. So that's really cool. I think they should promote that it is like that was cool to
Yeah,
watch. So I got on my way to Madeira, like got to sort of see what was happening from afar. I had a stat here that was super interesting to me. So in Q1, Elite's qualifying margin, time gap to 20th, was only 3.8 seconds. So that's 2% off the winning time. In the women's, it was a lot more. Time gap to 10th, 8.9 seconds. Just think
yeah,
about that, Win. That's like
yeah,
one of the huge topics is Q1, Q2. I don't want to beat a dead horse. But you telling me you got to be within 2% of the winning time, 3.8 seconds to make it in on Q1. And we saw a lot of guys not make it. 10 former World Cup slash World Champs winners
yeah.
were not thrown through. They didn't get through in the men's.
Yeah, insane. Like, there's 10 or 11 of those guys, and then there's only 10 spots in the Q2. So you put in like, I don't know, you just had to read through that Q2 start list, and I was like, wow, this is a race. Like, the to me, I was like, I've nearly got no chance, but we just have to send it. And I can't imagine being in the situation of some of those guys where they have to be in the final. Like, if you're paid hundreds of thousands by your team, they've got a big truck and everything, you have to be racing the final. Like, that's your job. So there would have been some very nervous people for that Q2 session, but I think that needs to be broadcast every race live because that's more exciting than the final race, really, for me. Like, just being on the edge of your seat, seeing if Jackson Goldstone's going to be racing tomorrow. That's totally unexpected, but you had like 11 people like Jackson Goldstone who were in there and probably quite stressed at the time, and it was extreme conditions as well. And then for extreme conditions, that 3.8 second margin from first to 20th in Q1 is mental. Like, the level of sport just keeps going
It's
up.
Yeah, it's so mental, and these teams seem like they've sort of been forced to sometimes add roster right, like add riders to their roster. They're investing more. They want their riders in the final, and you've got Charlie Hatton, Laurie Geenan was ill, I hear. Reese Wilson, Charlie Hatton. If I haven't mentioned, I may have. I've had a long day in Madeira, day one, so
Yeah.
just everyone excuse my lack of sort of energy here, but we'll get going. So yeah, it was bummer to see those guys not make it through Q2. Definitely a fairer way to do it if you don't do protection. So everyone's kind of like, yeah, let's not do protection. But
Yeah.
man, dude, only 30 guys. I find it hard to believe with how the depth is. And then, so you tell me, so you go up for your first one, Win. Are you going, okay, top 30, maybe I can do that? Do you just go hell for leather if you're not like a top 20 guy and just try wing it into the Q1? Like we saw a few names that are maybe not big names managed to
Yeah.
get it into the final from Q1. I'm thinking that's your strategy, but then the guys that, like you say, the big names, they've got to ride a little bit more conservatively
Yeah. Yeah.
because they kind
I
of can, but like it's so dangerous.
I think a lot of those kind of underdog guys, they just have to send it every run, and
Yeah.
the majority of those top guys, the 11 world champions or World Cup winners that ended up in Q2, they they're used to have been protected their whole career, a lot of them anyway, and it's just like now suddenly they don't have that, so they've ridden the Q1 like, oh yeah, I think this should get me in, but you can't ride like, I think this should get me in. You have to just send it. Like, there's no choice. And I heard from, I don't know who said, but from Jackson, he said, I think it was just in a group chat, and he said I had to ride like a World Cup race run to get through Q2, and that was just like, I had no choice. I had to, and then he gets through in eighth, and he had a bit of sickness as well. A lot of people had sickness at the weekend, but um, Jackson Goldstone fighting to get a spot in the final is pretty crazy. Like, we would not have expected that at all.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, okay, he's going through even with a bad run. Look,
Yep.
conditions didn't favor him. Like when it gets that sloppy and him carrying speed, obviously he was
Yep.
ill. Part of me wonders, like, not doing as many preseason races. What did that strategy maybe not pay off? But I think he was more sick, and course
Mhm.
just not suiting him, I would say. But
Yep.
yeah, dude, I mean, we could talk for a long time on that new change, which was positive for excitement, positive for fairness, positive that they broadcast it. So hey, look at us, we've freaking given some props here,